Welcome to the Slow Wine Guide 2021. I'm here with winemaker Darren Lowe from Domaine Anderson in Anderson Valley, and we're going to be looking at the 3 wines he's featuring in the 2021 guide. Welcome, Darren.
Thanks, Deborah. Thank you. So the first wine we're going to be tasting is the 2017 Estate Pinot Noir. So Domaine Anderson, we are part of the Roederer Estate group in Anderson. Anderson Valley is a small valley 2 hours north of San Francisco, and we grow and make organic wines, or not organic wines, but made with organic grapes. So 2017 Estate Pinot Noir. It's a very spicy, raspberry, very luscious wine. It's really a combination of 3 of our vineyard sites. So we have one in the deep end, one, the Dash Vineyard, which is primarily what this wine is made of, and then one in the Walraven Vineyard, which is in Boonville, which is our warmest site. But this really encompasses our house style. And so the house style of our Pinot, I love to make Pinots that are easy to drink, juicy, yet elegant. And so I'm not really looking for a whole lot of extraction. I want a very light touch. And I think this wine really speaks to that.
It's absolutely alive. It's so bright. I would call it vivacious, just jumping right out of the glass at me. And there's a really beautiful kind of spicy sapidity. It's not a word we use too much here in the U.S., but that's a bit of that spiciness. Where's that coming from? Some stem inclusion or something?
There's a little bit of stem inclusion, not much though. And what I tried to do is get the stems, just have a hint of it, but nothing that defines it too much. It adds another layer, we were talking about the spice, but it also adds another layer tactily. And I really feel like the mid palate is boosted because of that. And I do that because I really try to limit my oak to the new oak percentage is 3% on this wine. So
3%.
So it's very 3%. So it's very little. So that I can have the vineyard really shine in the glass. And so that's what the estate. It's our house style. It's our largest production wine. We made 2,800 cases of it. So it's widely available in distribution and in restaurants when they open again. But it's really kind of our combined efforts in the vineyards. And then the other wines, more specific, the Dash Vineyard and the Walraven Vineyard are more very site-specific vineyard terroir wines. So
can't wait. Well, this wine just dances across my tongue. It's absolutely just tripping the light fantastic. I really, really do enjoy this stuff.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get some earthiness to it as well. And what I like about the Anderson Valley is a lot of the umami and savory characters that I get from the Pinots. Saltiness is something that comes across my mind when I taste these wines.
Yeah, they really taste like Anderson Valley to me. This is cool climate. I mean, it is considered cool climate wine growing. Some sites are warmer than others, but
definitely. Yeah, we have so what we have, the valley runs northwest to southeast. So it's not very, it's kind of a strange way along the Navarro River. And the deep end is our coolest site. And so that has the fog that comes in the first and leaves the latest in the day.
Last, yeah.
And then our warm end, which is what I mentioned before, the Walraven, is in Boonville. And so there's about 15 miles difference between the two. So that's the warmest site because the fog leaves the soonest. It kind of retreats back to the ocean. And so it has a different type of ocean influence on the warm end versus the deep end.
Great. Well, tasty, absolutely. Okay, so next up, and these are all the 2017 vintage, right?
Correct. So next up is our Dash Vineyard. And so this is our biodynamic Demeter service. We've been farming it organically since 2012, and then started biodynamic farming it in 2014, and we're certified. So, which means, you know, a lot of extra thought, preps and compost, and incorporating animal life, really trying to farm the soil. And so this, to me, is like a very terroir-driven wine. It's got like a lot of dark hues, purplish. There's a lot of concentrated black cherry in the aromas, and plums.
I get a little bit of blood orange sneaking in there as well too.
Yeah, a little citrus, a little blood orange.
Yeah.
So this is made, we have 20 acres of vines, or 17 acres of vines on a 20-acre property, which was purchased by Domaine Rotor Estate in 2011. And this is the red wine facility is in Philo. And so I have small tanks. All the ferments are about 3.5 tons. So for this particular wine, it's a combination of about 3 to 4 different tanks, 3 to 4 different ferments, which includes, we have a clone, we have these heritage clones that are labeled DRC and Latache and Calera, as well as an 828, which is a Dijon clone. So it's a combination of heritage selections and 828 clone. There's absolutely no new barrel on this. It's all used French oak, 15 months in barrel.
Wow, there's an elegance to this wine. Now this is a 17. What is this wine going to be like in, I mean, it's a 17, so now it's, you know, it's coming into its, you know, 3rd year in bottle, right? So where's it going to go from here, Darren? If I were to cellar this for a while, what would change? How would it change?
Well, I think it's drinking really nice now.
It is, but let's just say I wanted to let it evolve.
Right. I think the fruit would maybe add some complexity to it, in the sense that there would be some layers of evolution. I think the color obviously would get a little darker, but since I have no new barrel on it, I think the fruit definitely will continue to shine without having the other kind of wine components, the wood components, the tannins will definitely soften. It's a Pinot, so it doesn't have a lot of tannins to begin.
Right.
It's very light, pretty. It's not light, but it's a pretty and elegant wine. And I think
it's absolutely on that end of the spectrum. It's not about weight, but there's a beautiful texture on the palate. There's this beautiful fullness on the palate that's extraordinary. I think the wine is going to move toward sous-bois, toward forest floor. I sense these latent secondary characteristics that are totally inherent to the grape, waiting to come out. I can see them starting to emerge, and it's that beautiful kind of dried leaf quality that you get, you know, from a deciduous forest. It's one of those things that, you know, you can't really pick out sometimes when there's oak. Really, it's coming from the grape. So that I see that another couple years in bottle. That's exactly where this is going to go. It's going to let those secondary characteristics that inherent to the grape emerge. I think it'll be truly, truly beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I pick up that, what you call the sous-bois. I pick up the kind of brambly, kind of the kind of wet forest floor. There's hints of it already, but that definitely can evolve and develop and become something just extremely beautiful in the glass.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the hallmark of the Burgundian style, right? Letting those inherent characteristics show over time. So drinking deliciously right now, and certainly for guide readers in 2021, but definitely one that could spend a few years in the cellar too.
Yeah. And then our last wine is the Walraven Vineyard. So we just certified this organic in 2019. So 2017 was the first year of transition to organic. And in fact, because of the way the parcel is set up, we actually farm it with biodynamic methods. We put preps on and keep bees on the property, and you know, just some of the biodynamic methods that we employ here at the Dash Vineyard, we use on this section of the Walraven Vineyard. But since the Walraven Vineyard is actually a larger vineyard that extends to the valley floor, we're just going to farm it organically, and then it's only certified organically. I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying. It's only certified, but farmed biodynamically. And so the Walraven Vineyard, the part that we take the grape for the still wine sits up top a little. It's kind of on a saddle in between
the higher elevation site.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not on the ridge, but it's in the kind of the middle slope, and it sits on a saddle. It gets a lot of wind in the afternoon. And I think that's one of the reasons why, Deborah, if you look on the back of the label, that gives you all the information that you could ever, you know, think about a wine. So in 2017, we only had like 1.7 tons per acre of yield, which is very, very little.
It's minuscule.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. Put it, you know, we're trying to, I think, over the last few years, we've gotten better yields because the farming has improved, the soils have improved, the plants are healthier. And so, you know, that's one of the reasons why we love organic farming, is because we really do, the plants respond much better to the environment and can produce more grapes than 1.7 tons an acre.
Right. Well, you rehabilitated this vineyard. I mean, you took this vineyard on and you've rehabilitated it, and now it's
Correct.
showing, but yields are still really small. So you're working to increase yields.
Well, up to the 4 ton an acre, that range there. It's just because 1.7, it's just meager. And if you know, if you're walking in a vineyard at 1.7 tons an acre, it's really few and far between.
Yeah,
and you just want a healthy vineyard, a healthy crop. So what I was saying about the wind, because of our organic farming methods, I think the canopy has kind of filled out more. Because of that, it's able to do more of the photosynthesis activity, as well as shelter a little bit more the wind that comes in the afternoon, because it's in the line from the ocean in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Whips up pretty good there.
Too windy, they shut down, right? They closed the stomata. So,
exactly.
What was I going to say? Well, we can. Oh, I was wondering if vine age had played a role in that. If vine age had any role in this extremely low yield.
Yeah, the vines I think they were planted in 2004, if I remember right.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, that's not that old. But I think because of the state of the vineyard when we took it over for the still wine program, it's been, you know, the vines were just not expressing themselves as they could.
Right.
I think, you know, part of that was like the use of glyphosates, the more the conventional farming, the fertilizers, so the plants were hooked on nutrients and
joy juice,
to wean them off, to get them their own immunity and their own, you know, as a vine, as a plant, get it healthy so that it could self-regulate. I think that was part of the of getting the vineyard healthy, and then part of producing better and better wines. But the 17, I think, is stellar. It really is. It's our warmest site, but we get the lowest sugar accumulation on that site. So it ended up being under 13% alcohol. But that makes it super elegant. I mean, it's not a light wine, and it's on the lighter side, but it's got some nice color, it's got some nice weight, and the tactile part of it is what I love about this.
Yeah, there's more apparent tannin here than in the Dash. You know, I think we could call Dash a real cool climate expression, whereas the Walraven, you know, it's warmer here.
Yeah.
But the sugars clearly don't rush ahead of the physiological ripeness. So there's that tension that's in the wine that's really extraordinary. And I love that additional traction from the tannin there as well too. So
yeah, definitely. One thing to note about this vineyard is the aromatic profile. It's very unique in the sense that there's a lot of, I like the kind of herbal qualities that it has. It's not vegetal, but herbal. And there's this kind of native mint species of a plant that grows in the vineyard naturally there. It's called pennyroyal. And
oh yes, we know all about pennyroyal.
yeah, it's very aromatic. You step on it, or you crush it with your fingers. It's very
it's resinous almost.
It's resinous and has a very unique and forceful aroma. And I believe that's a component in this wine. It definitely has that herbalness to it. And
so funny when you say that. I feel it on the finish. It's like that's where I feel a little bit of the coolness that kind of points to mint, that cool herbal quality that's on the finish. That's not a pungency or anything unripe. It's just this beautiful coolness on the finish. Great.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful marker that you can point to in this wine.
Mm.
Great. Well, I can't thank you enough for spending time with us today and for sharing these beautiful single vineyard wines from Anderson Valley. It's a joy and a treat to taste them and to talk with you.
Yep. Thank you, Deborah. It's been my pleasure. I really love it.
Thanks, Darren. We'll see you in the 2021 guide.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.